I am Dean Bart Plange, and I'm a fitness coach and yoga instructor. Originally, I'm from Las Vegas, and I spent about almost a decade in Los Angeles, where I was in fitness out there. And as COVID hit, I was realizing that things needed to change a little bit. So, my partner and I decided that we had to change some things up in life, and that's what led us to Portland, where she's originally from, and had a few contacts. So we wanted to get a little bit closer with nature, and what better place than the PNW? Portland. For Vegas, I grew up there, and I went all the way to college, right? So I actually, like, '08, I graduated high school in Vegas, and I went to Reno, Nevada. That's like 8 hour drive, or like an hour and a half, 2 hour flight. But went to UNR for college 4 years. Had a good time there. Don't know if you know anything about the Reno Tahoe area, but it's amazing. And then to 2012, when I graduated, I was about to move to Vegas until I realized I had this itch just to figure out what is my calling, what's my purpose. And my senior superlative was I was most likely to be on TV. So I was like, I might as well go to LA. It was fun. It was really a good time. Obviously, there's a lot of ups and downs, but it's like I managed to do a few different shows out there, a couple commercials that, allowed me to get the feel of the lights, camera, and action. And after I did a season of The Real World, I was like, you know what? I think I might have had my fill a little bit when it comes to just on the camera. So I kind of decided, I was like, let me see what else I have in store for me. Like, what other passions are there? And that's why I kind of found myself back into fitness. It's like with Hollywood, it can be a little rough sometimes if you're not strong-willed enough, and yeah, it's one of those things where you have to just be very committed and passionate. And I had the passion, I just didn't have the patience. And I was longing for something that allowed me to feel good about myself a little bit more. I wanted to help people feel better because I just felt like, I just had a natural gift for just kind of brightening people's days. So I said, let's get into an environment where that can actually multiply tenfold. And I was like, let's get into a health club. Like, honestly, it's like everyone's got the same agenda. Let's get a little bit better. I mean, honestly, no. I mean, with LA, it was fun because I felt like I was already a walking calling card, just because on the acting side, modeling a little bit, it's like I was already a little bit physically fit. I think, okay, I'm still a little bit physically. Okay, I am physically fit. I don't want to discredit all the hard work I've put in, because that's really what it is. It's just been like a passion that I've always had, and I just finally took a chance on myself to pursue that passion of, let's make the world a healthier place. And it definitely served me in so many ways, where I was realizing that I can live for more than just my own ego. Well, it was during COVID, and my partner and I, we felt so disconnected. Like we just weren't grounded to something meaningful at the time out in LA, where it just felt so fast paced, and things kind of felt chaotic in a way where we were just searching for somewhere that could feel a little bit more peaceful. Yeah, yeah. Coming to Oregon was a shock, but all in the right ways, because I didn't realize I needed a little wake up call, and just a reminder to myself of who I really am, and giving time to myself to just breathe, and try to connect deeper with others. Not everything has to be so surface level. Not everything has to be so transactional, and yeah, it's pretty cool just kind of seeing the individual I've been able to develop into whilst being here, because yeah, it's a different culture. To Oregon, it's completely different culture, and I think that's another great thing about it is like it's allowed me to, I guess, see how much patience do I really have for self worth, not worth, but self work. Yeah, I guess self worth too, because yeah, it's all the same. It's all encompassing. It's like how much am I willing to do the work for myself to really find that peace that I said I want, and it's 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 really cool, honestly, to see just the levels of emotions that I've had to like just travel through, just navigate through. I guess I would say I never had a strong suit in defining or working through my emotions at first until I got here. And then I realized, sometimes it's rainy and the rain just doesn't stop. So spend a lot of time inside and just reflecting on what's going on in this moment. It's like listening to the rain just falling in the windows and just kind of watching nature be is, it takes you under a trance sometimes where you just start really looking at yourself and you just start to see some things for what they really are. And it feels like that's where I've kind of continued to just journey down. Well, definitely now, it was about a little over 2 year mark of being relocated, and on average, I'm assuming it's like I've moved a few different times, and it's taken me about 2 3 years to get on my feet, get things going, get some clarity of, what am I doing? Like, where do I belong? What's my purpose here? And as I was teaching yoga, I came across Patricia in class, and she just had some kind words for me and just let me know about her practice. And I was like, which is funny too because I'm not really that trusting of most people, but yeah, Patricia just felt warm and welcoming, and I just trusted her. And my intuition, my guts led me to the best places, I'd say. I mean, I feel like I've lived so many different lives in such a short span of time. So I feel like I'm pretty good with energy and just knowing who I'm around and who I am willing to, allow exchanges of energy with. And it was just it was just something cool to be able to hear her kind words about just how she felt about my class and what she saw in me as an individual. And it just made me realize it was like, this is someone I could, you know, open myself to and just seeing what is possible. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like I got clarity. I mean, it was wild because there's a lot of vulnerability that needed to be met. And because I put so much trust in Patricia with this process, I felt like I was able to just relieve some of the tension I just had in my body, like just the restriction to just be honest with myself. Um, Through the whole process, it was cool just being able to really speak to that consciousness within, because I understand like all the answers we have are within already. It's just a matter of, dumbing down the exterior intrusive thoughts and really listening to those inner thoughts or inner voice that has the guidance we're searching for. And I think like Patricia's gift of just being able to guide me through that was really awesome, because it's we're humans, and as tough as we are, we're gentle as well. And she had a gentle just approach in allowing me to settle in my mind and being, so I could really process these situations that have been going on in my life, and coming out of it with just a sense of just, I don't know, freedom. At first I was kind of doing more strength and conditioning work, sexy muscles, essentially. Everybody just wanted to look good and feel strong and athletic. I could do that. That was simple. I feel like I definitely was a little bit more just the bodybuilder.com type trainer at first, which, there's nothing wrong with that. But essentially, I just wanted muscles. I just wanted look. I just didn't care as much for the health side of things, just being a younger trainer. So these are all things that I can confidently admit now, but it was really special because it's like when I did meet my partner, she just made me realize the importance of strength and flexibility with her being a dancer, a professional dancer. Um, it just opened my eyes to the world of movement, really. And that's kind of where I evolved my training style over the years as I was able to take my stiff body. It was pretty immobile. I was very strong and I looked the part. I looked wonderful, but I couldn't move and I didn't feel good. And I just thought about how is this possible for people to live like this? It's like I know athletes and they're on, all types of pills and suffering through all these things behind closed doors, but they perform because they got to do the job. But it doesn't seem like that's sustainable, and it doesn't seem like a life to live, especially as you get in your older years, and you got to think about you're walking around with this body, this one body for the rest of your life. So over the years, I decided it's like, you know what? Let's take a dive into how do we heal? Like, how do we repair what once was? And I think that's what got me into just focusing a little bit more on just movement quality. A lot of it was just kind of getting the reps in the gym with clients and uh, emphasizing more strength and range of motion. It's like still doing our strength training, programming, but we would just emphasize, okay, we're going to get deeper into these, positions this time. Let's sit in that a little bit more tension training. The philosophy started adapting into adaptation, really. Because if you realize how simple everything could be if we just search for structural balance or um, just the ability to, you know, just be resilient. Like even just being on the ground is difficult for most that haven't practiced it. The older we get, we lose sight of that childlike movement that we once had. So if you take those components, feeling like you can move like a child, just spontaneous, no care, no worries in the world because your body tells your brain that it feels safe enough, I'm pretty sure you're going to feel confident to do whatever you need to do in your life because for most people, the biggest resistance we have is within ourselves. And typically, you don't feel that, in many ways, but you can feel it physically. And if you can feel it physically, I'm pretty sure it's going to transfer emotionally and whatever other type of, you know, processing you have, it's gonna pop up there, and it's gonna be something that's holding you back in some regard. So my idea is like, let's address these things. Let's search out our weaker links. Let's just find where our inefficiencies are, and we're not gonna overstress it. We're just gonna acknowledge, accept it, address it, and every day just give it a little bit more attention. Now, see, that's the problem with what I do because I feel like as a human, everyone fits. Now, if we gotta tunnel it down, make it a niche, I'm looking for people that just want to heal. That you're tired of being injured. You're tired of dealing with aches and pains. You're tired of not getting over plateaus. I'm looking for people that are just ready to move well and looking for a quality of movement in life. It doesn't have to get any more complicated than that because no matter what goal you have, if you can't move well, whatever results you get from the program you're on, those results might be fleeting after some time. But if we can go back to our foundation, find some structural balance, and take care of the areas that we just neglected for some time, then that'll last with you. That's longevity. That's, in my opinion, the whole point of just exercise. It's just like keep the body together as long as you can, so you can release whatever power you got in that mind of yours. So for those that really want to maximize their, I guess, just capabilities in life in general, I'm searching for you, because I've been there, right there in your shoes, where there's aches and pains, and you didn't think that there was anything else you could do but just put up with that pain. No, there's freedom, and I'm a living testament to it, and I want to just walk you through it, teach you how to fish. I want to show you how to free yourself. That way we can just continue to heal anyone else that's looking for a hand too. I definitely feel like there's got to be some pressure. You're gonna, they say pressure creates diamonds. You got to think about yourself as a gym, and there is no growth in comfort. So when we are moving and exercising, we gotta apply a little bit of pressure to our physical, to just remind our body and our mind that we are capable. The mind won't know that it's safe for challenge or obstacles unless we introduce these situations into it. It's like life is struggle. You have to continuously be challenged so you can continuously grow who you are, physically and mentally. So there's no shortcut, no pain, no gain. If you're injured and you're feeling pain that hurts you, then definitely stay away from that. Don't ever do that. But you can reduce the pain. You can reduce, just lactic acid. Like that's okay. But actual, just you're injured, you have something that's tweaked and off that doesn't feel quite right. Yeah, you don't push through that. Now, for me, I definitely feel like I like to meet people exactly where they are that day. And when it comes to our program, yeah, there's going to be a basis, a nice little structure of how we're going to program your progress here. But I like to think of just, what capabilities do you want? Like, what would you really love to do again? Is that to run, skip, hang, just having to do a backflip? It's like, if you can just make it a little bit more light, and that's the whole thing. All the rules are made up anyway. So I just, when I'm talking to my patients or clients, I'm just like, hey, what do you want to do in your life? Do you want to just roll around with your kids? Tell me what fun you want to have, because when we can figure out what fun, no matter your age, that you want to be doing, that's what we're going to strive for. We're going to create the adaptation your body needs to get into those shapes and those positions and those. That's why I teach yoga as well. Right now, I'm teaching this class at Lifetime. It's called Surrender. It's a yin-based yoga class where you just sit in shapes and positions for about 5 to 10 minutes, right? You're not only sitting with that body, you are sitting with those thoughts. Mm. We are releasing a lot of blocked energy when we can just settle into our bodies and find just peace with the resistance that's always trying to kind of keep us away from letting that tension go. If you can practice, because relaxation is a practice. If you can practice relaxation or meditation, breathing, whatever you want to call it, you're going to realize you're going to change the structure of your tissues. Mm-hmm. You can do that. Then all the other fitness stuff it's fun, because you're surrendering to yourself. You have all the answers. Like, what is best for you. It's just your ego that's in the way. So you're surrendering your ego of just feeling like you know what you're doing. But if you really want to know what you're doing, you understand you don't know a thing, and you just accept that, and you just let life happen, and you choose the best way to respond to that. It's like, of course you can plan ahead and, be as prepared as you want, but sometimes things just happen. And you just got to decide, how do you want to move forward with that? So if you can keep, like Winnie the Pooh, oh my goodness, he is such a great, role model for how he just takes everything life gives him, and they're just like, all right, thank you. That might have been unfortunate if I thought about it being unfortunate, but I really appreciate the opportunity to have this moment. You know, um, life can be your heaven or hell depending on how you want to perceive it. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Patricia simply because the trust is there. I mean, she's so understanding. She's got the life experience that just, I don't know where her soul essence has been, but it's traveled far, and there's a lot of wisdom there. And she's just very gentle when it comes to understanding the healing process, searching for clarity. I mean, I was able to address some things with my mother, my biological mother, that I didn't even realize I had. It's situations with but just my family in general, just my connections with people, my relationships. It's it's hard to face yourself. So it was kind of wild to me, where it's like I feel like I'm a great judge of character for the most part, and I don't open up to many people, but the fact that I was drawn to her, it felt right. And I just really hope others can just take my experience and use it as just inspiration of, like, there's possibilities for better, just just better everything. I mean, if it had to be just one word, it is love. I mean, love is really the reason for every single thing. I feel like that's something we can always continuously just dive into understanding deeper. Um, I feel like I do have my own definition of love, but I also understand that I can increase that. I can find more love. I can find more understanding. You see every day there's just love all around us. People are just unconditionally giving themselves to others, and I want to be able to just drop my own, just, I guess, selfishness sometimes, and there's just so much love to give. And I think it's awesome that I can put passion into what I'm doing, as far as trying to allow people to get their bodies back so they can receive even more, because that is self-love. And I'm not saying I'm Mother Teresa or Gandhi or nothing, but it's like you can have a life worth living just by just living your passion. And the more I give, it feels like I do receive so much more in return. It feels like we're reverse engineering people's bodies, really. And throughout the assessment, essentially, I'm just recirculating energy. Because, like I said, when we start from the ground up, we'll literally just go from feet, ankles, knees, hips, back, shoulders, you know, working the neck, just all type of rotations, twists, turns. It doesn't matter. Even ending off with the fingers and the wrists. Because I had a situation where I had a ganglion cyst on my wrist. It was about the size of a quarter. And I had it drained about 2 times, but I was refusing to get surgery. I didn't want them to have to cut it open and get it out. So I just found this routine where you would just do these wrist movements and exercise for the forearms, and you just twist, turn, and having that mobility in the hands, it just it really cured my ganglion cyst. It just went away. It's like, well, shoot, it's all circulation. If you can feel it, you can heal it. It's that easy. I'm Dean Bart Plange. I'm a fitness coach and yoga instructor. Currently, you can find me at Lifetime Beaverton, Portland, Oregon. You can see me on my social media: Instagram, Dean_BP, TikTok as D_Bart Plange. But You can just Google me. It sounds weird saying that, but either way, it's like I'm not hard to find. But if we're meant to be, like you'll find me, and I'll find you, and we'll connect, and we'll just exchange conversation, and hopefully we can grow together.